Nurseries won't tell you this. 7 vegetables you should plant now. Before you buy another kale or lettuce plant for your fall garden, stop for a second. Because there are vegetables you may be walking straight past at the nursery without realizing how useful they can be this time of year. And I'm not talking about some strange vegetable that needs a greenhouse or special equipment. I'm talking about crops that can fit into an ordinary home garden, including several that most gardeners simply don't think to look for when summer starts winding down. And this is what I find interesting. When people start planning a fall garden, they usually reach for the same familiar list: kale, lettuce, spinach, maybe broccoli. And there's nothing wrong with those vegetables, but if that's where your list ends, you're missing some really interesting options. Today, I'm giving you 7 vegetables I want you to know by name before you go shopping for your fall garden. Some of these may already be familiar to you. Others may make you say, "I've never even grown that." And that's exactly why they're on this list. I'm also going to tell you what makes each one worth considering, what I would look for at the nursery, and which ones make the most sense if you don't have a huge amount of garden space. One quick note before we start. Your exact planting window depends on where you live and the variety you're buying, so check the days to maturity before you plant. That's all you need to keep in mind for now. Let's get to the vegetables. Number 1. Kohlrabi. If you've ever walked past kohlrabi at a garden center and thought, "What on earth am I supposed to do with that?" you're not alone. Kohlrabi is one of those vegetables that looks unusual enough to make people walk right past it. Instead of forming a familiar head like cabbage, it develops a swollen stem just above the soil, and that strange appearance is actually part of the reason I want you to consider it. Kohlrabi is a cool season vegetable, so it fits naturally into the transition away from the hottest part of summer. But what I really like about it for a home garden is that it doesn't demand a huge amount of space. If you're working with a smaller raised bed, a compact vegetable garden, or simply trying to squeeze more food into the space you already have, that's a useful quality. And you're not just growing it for one part of the plant. The swollen stem is edible, and the leaves can be eaten too. So one plant gives you more than just a strange-looking vegetable sitting above the soil. You can slice the stem and eat it fresh, cook it, or use it in different dishes. The leaves can also be prepared like other edible greens. That's a pretty good return from a relatively compact plant. And here's something else I like about kohlrabi. It gives you variety. If your fall garden is always the same combination of lettuce, kale, and spinach, adding something like kohlrabi changes the entire experience. You're not just growing more of the same vegetables, you're giving yourself something different to harvest. Now, if you're buying plants rather than starting from seed, take a good look at the trays. Look for healthy plants with strong green foliage and no obvious signs of disease or severe stress. And don't feel like you have to buy a whole tray. If you've never grown kohlrabi before, a few plants are enough to experiment with. That's actually one of the advantages of trying an unfamiliar vegetable. You don't need to turn your entire garden into an experiment. Try a small number. See whether your family likes it, and if you enjoy it, you've discovered another crop you can use in future seasons. So, what's my nursery test for kohlrabi? If you find healthy plants and the timing works for your area, I would put this firmly in the look twice category. Don't walk past it simply because it looks strange, because the vegetables that look unfamiliar are sometimes the ones that give you the most interesting additions to your garden. Now, let's move to number 2, and this one looks completely different. Number 2, Tatsoi. This is one of those vegetables that can make you stop and ask, why have I never grown this before? Tatsoi is an Asian green that forms a low, attractive rosette of dark green leaves. And unlike the giant, sprawling plants many people associate with summer vegetables, tatsoi has a much more compact growth habit. That's useful if you garden in raised beds, containers, or simply don't have room for sprawling crops. But the real reason I want it on this list is the way it fits into a cool season garden. Tatsoi is comfortable with cooler conditions, which makes it particularly interesting as summer begins giving way to fall. And you can harvest it in different ways. You can pick young leaves for salads, you can harvest larger leaves for cooking, or you can harvest the plant more substantially once it has developed, so you're not locked into one way of using it. And here's something else I think seniors should pay attention to crops like this. You don't necessarily need a huge planting to get something useful from it. A small patch can provide fresh greens without taking over the entire garden. That's valuable when you're trying to keep your garden productive without creating more work than you actually want. And if you're shopping for it at a nursery, here's what I'd do. Don't just look at the big, obvious displays. Look closely at the smaller trays. Ask whether they carry Asian greens or cool season greens. And if you don't see tatsoi immediately, ask. Knowing the name of the vegetable can make a huge difference. You can't look for something you've never heard of. My nursery check? If you find healthy tatsoi and the timing works for your garden, I'd say yes, especially if you want fresh greens without giving up a large section of your garden. But don't get too comfortable yet, because number 3 is another crop that most gardeners don't give nearly enough attention to. And this one is particularly interesting if you want something that can produce quickly rather than taking forever to get going. Number 3, Mizuna. If you've never grown Mizuna before, don't let the name put you off. This is a leafy green with thin, deeply cut leaves, and one of the reasons I like it for a fall garden is simple. It can give you another harvest of fresh greens without demanding a huge amount of space. The leaves have a mild, peppery flavor, and you can use them young in salads or let them develop further for cooking. But here's what makes Mizuna interesting for this list. It grows relatively quickly. So, if you're looking at your garden and thinking, I don't have months to wait for another crop, Mizuna deserves your attention. And unlike another planting of ordinary lettuce, it gives you something completely different to grow and eat. If you're shopping at a nursery, look beyond the obvious displays. Ask whether they carry Mizuna or other Asian greens. And don't worry if you don't find a huge tray of it sitting at the front. That's part of the point. You can't look for something you've never heard of. My nursery check? If you find healthy Mizuna and the timing works for your garden, I'd say yes. Especially if you want fresh greens without giving up a large section of your garden. Now, let's move to number 4, because this next vegetable gives you something most leafy greens on this list don't. Number 4. Turnips. Turnips aren't usually the vegetable people get excited about, but they're one of the most practical crops on this list, and here's why. You can harvest the greens and you can harvest the root. That's 2 useful foods from the same planting. You can use the young leaves as greens while the root continues developing, then harvest the root when it's ready. For a smaller garden, that's a pretty good use of space. And turnips also fit naturally into a cool season garden, which makes them worth considering as summer winds down. But don't make the mistake of thinking you need to grow enormous turnips. The best size depends on the variety and how you plan to use them. If you're buying seeds or plants, look at the variety rather than assuming every turnip grows the same way. And here's something I think many gardeners overlook. You don't have to decide whether you're growing turnips or greens. You can get both. So my nursery check, yes,
especially if you want a practical crop that gives you more than one kind of harvest. And if you've never eaten turnip greens before, this might be the year to try them. Now, number 5 is going to challenge what you think a radish looks like.
Number 5. Daikon, or winter radish. When most people hear radish, they picture those little round red ones. Daikon is a completely different experience. Many varieties produce long white roots that develop underground, sometimes reaching a surprisingly impressive size. And that's exactly why I want you to know about them. You may walk past the plant because the foliage doesn't look particularly exciting, but the real crop is hiding underneath the soil. That's one of the fun things about growing root vegetables. You don't completely know what you've got until you pull it. Daikon and other winter radishes are also useful cool season crops, so they fit naturally into a fall garden. But if you have limited space, pay attention to the variety you're buying. Some types need more depth and room underground than others. And don't grow one simply because you saw a picture of an enormous daikon online. The goal is a useful harvest that fits your garden, not winning a competition for the biggest root. My nursery check? Yes, if you have the space and want to grow something genuinely different, especially if you've been planting the same little red radishes for years. Because once you realize how different winter radishes can be, you may never look at the radish section the same way again. And number 6 takes us back above ground. Number 6, mustard greens. Mustard greens don't always get the attention they deserve in a fall garden. They're fast-growing, well-suited to cooler conditions, and give you another way to keep producing fresh greens as summer crops begin slowing down. But there's another reason I like them. If you found mustard greens too strong or bitter in hot weather, cooler growing conditions can make them much more enjoyable for some people. And that gives you a completely different eating experience from mild lettuce. You can cook them, mix younger leaves into salads, or use them when you want a stronger green with more flavor. And this is becoming a theme with our list. We're not trying to grow 7 versions of lettuce. We're building variety into a fall garden. Something leafy, something underground, something unusual, something you can harvest in more than one way. That's what makes these crops worth knowing. If you're shopping for mustard greens, look for healthy plants with good color and no obvious disease or severe stress. And don't automatically choose the biggest plant on the shelf. A healthy young plant that's appropriate for your conditions can be a much better choice. My nursery check? Yes, if you enjoy stronger greens. If you've never eaten mustard greens, start small. Grow enough to discover whether you actually like them before giving them half your garden. And now we've reached number 7. This is the one I wanted to save for last because it's familiar enough that most people know what it is, but it's still easy to overlook when you're choosing fall vegetables. Number 7. Bok Choy. If you've only ever bought bok choy at the grocery store, you may never have considered growing it yourself. But it's a compact, cool season crop that can fit particularly well into raised beds and smaller gardens. And that's a big reason I like it for seniors who don't want to create a garden that becomes more work than they can comfortably manage. You don't need a sprawling plant taking over the entire bed. A few healthy bok choy plants can give you something completely different from the usual fall vegetables. And depending on the variety and how you plan to use it, you can harvest the whole plant or use individual leaves. But there's another reason I saved it for last. Unlike some of the vegetables we've talked about, bok choy is already familiar to many people. You may have eaten it, you may already know you like it. So if you see healthy bok choy plants at the nursery, this is an easy opportunity to try something you already know you'll enjoy. My nursery check? Yes. If the plants are healthy and the timing works for your garden, I'd absolutely consider a few. You don't need a whole bed. Start small. See how you like growing it, see how your family likes eating it, and then decide whether it deserves a place in next year's garden. And now you've seen all 7. Kohlrabi, Tatsoi, Mizuna, Turnips, Daikon,
mustard greens, and bok choy. But here's what I don't want you to do. Don't walk into the nursery and buy all 7 simply because I told you they're good fall vegetables. Choose the ones that actually fit your garden. If you have very little space, look at compact crops. If you want something unusual, try Kohlrabi, Tatsoi, or Mizuna. If you want more than one type of harvest, look at turnips. If you want something completely different from ordinary radishes, try Daikon. And if you already enjoy stronger greens or bok choy, those are easy choices to consider. That's really the point of this video. Don't just buy whatever's sitting in the biggest fall display. Look around, ask questions, and know the names of the vegetables you're looking for. Because sometimes the most useful crop in the nursery isn't the one sitting front and center. It's the one you never knew to look for. So tell me in the comments, which of these 7 have you never grown before? I'd love to know which one caught your attention. And if you found a new vegetable you're going to try this fall, subscribe to Easy Gardening for Seniors. I'll see you in the next one.